What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the RAS Project, real stories from real humans. This is where we debunk the bullshit and fluff and talk about 100% proven tactics and strategies to help you grow your life and business. My name is Ivan Temelkov, and I hope you weren't expecting anybody else. I've got one favor to ask. Did you find value in this episode? If so, please tell others about the RAS Project. You can subscribe, watch, listen, follow the RAS Project anywhere on the internet: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube also. Don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. You can head on over to youtube.com/Ivan Temelkov. I would greatly appreciate it. And then, do you have questions? I got answers. If there's something specific you would like to cover on this podcast, please send me your question, your topic. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I would love to cover that. And again, if you enjoyed the episode, please tell others about it. I would also appreciate a review on Apple podcast. If you can take a moment, I would greatly appreciate it. And before we get into the episode, I wanted to do something a little different today. And today's topic is 24 things that I am thankful for. And with that being said, one thing that I wanted to mention to you guys. So, in the last episode or last couple of episodes, I know I mentioned to you that I would have a special guest who will be joining me on the RAS Project. Unfortunately, yesterday I found out that her husband actually came down with COVID, and as a result, she has been tied up in that situation. So she should be back soon. I'm excited to have her share her story with you guys. Very powerful story. And but until then, I wanted to focus on sharing the 24 things I'm thankful for in light of being Christmas Eve. This is probably around the time that you're watching or listening to this episode of the RAS Project. And so, ironically enough, I wanted to share the 24 things that I am personally thankful for. And there's a lot that I'm thankful for, especially this year. Things that I think all of you should remember that, to be thankful for, because you know, I, I think you'd be surprised to find out how blessed you probably are. Most people are truly blessed, but I think a lot of people do not spend a moment in their life to really truly recognize the blessings that they have in their lives. And to be honest with you, I have a lot of blessings in my life, and I wanted to share those blessings with you because it's because of those blessings that I have been able to become the person that I am today. And I strive to show eternal gratitude for each and one of these things. And these are in no particular order. I just wanted to share them with you. The first thing that I'm probably most thankful for is my family, my wife, my two beautiful kids, my son Hudson, and my daughter Emerson. And then, of course, my parents, who, I've been very fortunate to have good parents who have given me solid guidance, great advice in life and in business, especially from my father as well. And of course, my two beautiful kids that, let's just say, and I won't go down this road and sharing this story, but, up until 6 years ago, it was very uncertain whether or not I would ever be able to experience fatherhood. So I am eternally grateful for the fact that I have a family, a beautiful wife. Me and my wife Amanda have been together for 11 years. We've been married for 6, but we've been together for 11 years. And so that is probably one of the first and foremost things that I'm extremely thankful for. The second thing that I'm thankful for is just being alive. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand that if you cannot wake up, if you have no air in your lungs, if your heart's not beating, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to do anything else in life, in business, anything. So being alive is a blessing in itself. It's extremely, extremely important for you to remember that. And because of that, that gratitude of being alive, I think, has been a huge driving factor for me in everything that I've done, especially in 2021. The number three thing that I'm grateful for is having a roof over my head. I'm sitting here in my office, which is actually my house, believe it or not, because you know what? That is just, how we operate in this virtual COVID digital world. And, having a roof over my head, the lights are on, the heat actually just kicked off a second ago. But having a roof over my head, you know, there is literally a lot of people out there right now, probably on the other side of the world, who are literally striving for a roof over their head, especially now around the holidays, around Christmas time. And the fact that I'm able to enjoy this, this weekend we're going to be traveling for Christmas to visit my wife's family. And, we've got a nice hotel that we've booked to stay so we're not crowded with everybody else. And, that all costs money, that costs money, the trip costs money, the accommodations there, the fuel costs money, the insurance on my car costs money, clothing my kids costs money. Putting food on the table, costs money. So having a roof over my head is something that I'm eternally grateful for because there's people out there who don't even have a roof over their heads. The number four thing that I'm grateful for is being bilingual. A lot of you probably don't know this, but I'm Eastern European. I was born in Bulgaria. My family immigrated here. Actually, my father was the first one to immigrate to the United States back in 1990, so over 30 years ago. And I've been very fortunate, to be bilingual. In fact, at one point in time, I spoke four languages. So Bulgarian being my native language, which I'm fortunate enough to still speak today. I used to be able to speak Russian as well, and I actually lost that because Russian was taught back home in Bulgaria when I was in fourth grade, since I was so young. And Czech, the Czech language is something that I learned because as part of our immigration, as we were, immigrating to the United States, I was fortunate enough to spend 2 years of my life living in the Czech Republic, which at the time was actually just Czechoslovakia before they split down the middle and became the Czech Republic and the Slovak Republic, being independent countries. And so I had to learn Czech and then, of course, English when we immigrated to the United States. But, these days, and I used to think that, being bilingual was a curse, especially when I was learning English, because most kids at the time, thought that there was something wrong with me, and I seem to believe that at a disadvantage because I couldn't speak the language. But in reality, being bilingual, ladies and gentlemen, will take you places. It will create new relationships, new opportunities. It will strengthen your communication with people. So I'm eternally grateful to be bilingual. Even more so that as my kids are getting older, I want to be able to share the Bulgarian language with my children because I want them to experience a new language, something that most people will never experience in a lifetime. Um, Number four, my first dream car. So in late March of 2021, I was blessed with being able to purchase my first dream car, which was a 2016 Audi A6 S line. If you follow me on the socials, especially Instagram, you have probably seen some recent photo shoots that we did with that vehicle. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, for 4 years of my life, I busted my ass to purchase this vehicle, and I was lucky enough to do that earlier this year to be able to reap the fruition of all the hard work and labor. And I have wanted this car for a very long time. It's just it took 4 years to get to that point, and it's my daily driver. But I absolutely love this car, every single thing about it. Not to mention is that I'm able to share with my family, with my children. We're able to travel with it. In fact, I did quite a bit of travel this year in this vehicle. I think I did probably about 30,000 miles. I know that's insane amount of miles to travel in, let's see, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 7 months, I should say, maybe 8 months. When in reality, most people drive about 20 to 25,000 miles in the span of 12 months. That is what the average American drives. Um, so very fortunate to be able to purchase my first vehicle, my first dream car, I should say. And again, that was an attestment of the fact that hard work pays off, dedication pays off, resilience pays off, passion pays off. And speaking of passion, the number six that I'm thankful for is passion. I'm very passionate about a lot of things that I do. I'm very passionate about digital and marketing and building relationships and being creative and being resourceful, being technologically driven. And these are all things that I've been passionate about, but most importantly, passionate about being able to help people. And that's something that I was able to translate into a business 5 years ago when I started my company, Razor Sharp Digital, my digital marketing agency. And so, but I'm very fortunate to be able to have a passion. In fact, I have several passions. Being a car enthusiast is a passion, but I also have a passion for helping people. I have a passion for marketing and social media as well. But nonetheless, having a passion. In the next one, speaking of passions, is my business, my company, Razor Sharp Digital. And, 2021 has been an amazing year, an amazing year. In fact, year over year, being able to go over six figures in revenue, and finally after so 2022 is actually going to be the sixth year in business. And most businesses, 95% of businesses, fail in the first 5 years. So we're right in the thick of it, and figuring out what has worked, what hasn't worked. So I'm really, really excited about, first of all, being able to have a business which has, created a tremendous amount of opportunities on every single level. Being able to give me more time with my family, my kids, my wife, travel, being able to help other businesses, by contributing with a skill set or skill sets that I have and solutions to help them solve problems. So, very, very thankful for my company, Razor Sharp Digital, especially in 2021. The number eight thing is fitness and nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that probably for about 20 years of my life, I have struggled with fitness and nutrition. I've succeeded, I've failed. Succeeded, I've failed. And there's been a lot of different reasons for that. But I think 2021 was probably the first year where I've been able to dial in my fitness and nutrition, and really being able to become more consistent with those things. So very thankful for that, because fitness and nutrition has really contributed to being able to do a lot of different things. The number nine thing that I'm extremely thankful for is cycling. A lot of you probably don't know that I started cycling in 2013. So this is 8 years of cycling. But in 2021, I actually invested into my first, call it nice bike or nice road bike. I purchased a new specialized bike. Absolutely love that bike. And in fact, it was in 2021. It was actually in September of 2021 when I did my first extensive race, which was a 60-mile race out in the cornfields in the middle of nowhere in central Illinois, out in the country. And let me tell you, that was probably one of the most rejuvenating experiences that I've had in my entire life. It was challenging, but it was extremely rewarding as well. And so I'm very thankful for cycling. Cycling has really, really, opened a lot of different opportunities and created different perspectives in life and in business and relationships for me. So I'm very, very grateful for that. The number 10 thing is great people and relationships. I've met some amazing people in 2021, and great people, having great people in our lives and relationships is what makes, in part, life worthwhile, because suddenly you see, for one, how much more grateful you are, and what other people are going through, how they're living their lives, ways that you can help them, whether it's in their personal life or in business, or just, building friendships also. So I'm very, very thankful for great people on the personal side, on the business side of things, because without them, I don't think that my life would be what it is today, because believe it or not, these people in these relationships have a contributing factor, contributing components to my personal life and my business. So I'm extremely thankful for that. The number 11 thing is the RAS Project podcast, which you're tuning into right now. So the RAS Project actually is now 6 years running. 2022 will be 7 years running. And because of the podcast, I have been able to, meet some great people, interview some great people, some influential people. I've been able to generate business opportunities with my digital marketing agency, Razor Sharp Digital. I've been able to create impact, in the lives of other people. In fact, yesterday I met with two amazing young cats who are still actually in high school and started their own business venture. And one of them said, "Ivan, I listen to your podcast all the time, man. It's very well structured. There's so much information in the podcast. I absolutely love it. It's real, it's raw, it's authentic. There's no fake, no bullshit. You just tell it how it is, and it's hard to find podcasts like that." So the RAS Project, which, by the way, many of you don't know what RAS stands for, and it stands for raw as shit. I know some of you are probably laughing, but actually that raw as shit was supposed to be the name, one of the rebranded names of this podcast, but because of profanity, I guess shit is profanity, or considered as profanity, was unacceptable. So the abbreviation of RAS was born as a result of that, to emphasize, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, in the intro, that this is a podcast where we debunk the bullshit and fluff and talk about 100% proven tactics and strategies to help you grow in life, your life and business. I mean, bullshit is something that I can't stand. I'm allergic to it. There's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of snake and oil out there, especially in the business world. And I wanted to put a stake in the podcasting community to say that this is a real and raw podcast that's going to cover no bullshit, 100% proven tactics and strategies from my own personal experience, and being able to bring on people who can also share their stories and contribute in the way that they have accomplished those things. So I'm very, very thankful for the RAS Project. Number 12 is being myself. There was a point in time in my life, I've shared a little bit about this, in my high school career, when I was bullied all through high school, that I was afraid of being myself. I was being judged. I was having self-confidence issues, but now more than ever, I'm not afraid to be myself. In fact, that's probably a key piece of advice that I would share with you, is that not to be afraid to be yourself. Because in a mediocre world, in a stagnant world, now more than ever, there's a much stronger need to be yourself. Because being yourself, you contribute and you give in some form or fashion. You impact the world. You can change the world. So being myself is one of the things that I'm very, very grateful for. And so much of that, especially this year. Number 13 is our neighbors. So our current neighbors are absolutely amazing. We've built a great relationship. Not to mention that my son actually loves playing with one of their oldest, and that makes me happy because I know that we have someone to rely on that lives next door to us. I've lived in some neighborhoods in the past where we didn't really have cool neighbors. They were very enclosed. There were people who are just to themselves. They weren't very social, very conversational. So very thankful for our neighbors, for Joe and Haley, and Blaze and Jojo and Jet, because they're a part of our life. Especially around the holidays, we've gotten to hang out with them, gotten to know them, and that's a lot more that I can say from previous experiences. I'm thankful for my new phone. I know you guys probably think that's cliche as fuck, but I'm here to tell you that getting a new phone, actually, I have it here handy, and that is my new iPhone 13 Pro um, that I actually just picked up in the last 13 days. And that's because I was due for an upgrade. My old phone was actually an iPhone XS Max, which was about 3 years old, I guess. So the reason I'm mentioning that to you is because I'm not crazy about phone upgrades, but you know what? In this new phone, having things like cinematic features to be able to shoot video, faster processor, it also has more local storage. So all the phones that I've owned had 256 gigabytes of storage. This one has 512 gigabytes of local storage. And not that it's really essential because everything gets backed up to the cloud, where I've got 2 terabytes of space. But, there's a better camera also. Again, I'm not trying to sell the phone to you, but there's so many perks in this new phone. And having, being very social, very conversational, not to mention having a digital marketing company, this phone comes in very handy, being able to shoot selfie style video or, document things, utilizing some of the new apps, it really, really comes in handy. So I'm very thankful for it. Looking forward to use it into 2022 and beyond, being able to harness its true power. Also, not just for business reasons, but also for personal reasons, such as, capturing priceless moments with my family. Now, today being Christmas Eve, capturing priceless moments with my family that, things that I'm going to reflect upon and look back. So again, that's why I threw that in here. Exploration, number 15. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm someone who barely graduated high school, someone who dropped out of college. I've made more money than people who have MBAs. I've even taught people who have MBAs, people who are smarter than me. And it's largely because of exploration. And so the reason I put that on here is I want you to understand that exploration is an essential part as a human being, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to try. I've gotten my PhD at the School of Google. It sounds cliche to a lot of people, but it sounded cliche to a lot of people 15 years ago. 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Even today, it sounds cliche to a lot of people, but that's because these are people who are incapable of exploration. Please never stop exploring. There are so many opportunities out there and challenges that it's important that you harness those things. Number 6 is reading. I never really was a person who likes to read. I don't know. I mean, I would kind of have this, these sporadic moments where I would start to read and then I would stop to read and then I'd start to read. Currently I'm actually stuck on reading a book called The Resilient Entrepreneur that actually one of my employees gave to me. And I'm absolutely in love with this book. In fact, if you've been following me on Facebook, if we're friends on Facebook, you'll notice that almost on a daily basis, I recite a lesson from that particular book. And the reason why I love this book is because of the psychological nature of it. And suddenly I found out, you know what? It's 80% psychology and 20% skill. And that's a quote by Tony Robbins. And this is exactly what this book talks about, is how psychology is such an intricate part in everything we do in our lives and in business. And I don't think a lot of people, realize this. So reading has been able to enrich my mindset, being able to enrich my vocabulary, being able to enrich my life, my business. So I'm very thankful for reading. In fact, I'm trying to find more reasons of how to read more going into 2022. I don't have a shortage of books. That's not the problem. It's making the commitment to read. So that was number 16. Number 17, resilience. As a human being, as an entrepreneur, it's important to understand that resilience is just a part of growth. People who are afraid to be resilient are slowly dying. And there was a point in my life where I was afraid to be resilient because I was so worried about being judged. I was so worried about failing. I was worried about what other people would think if I acted differently. Now more than ever, I just don't give a fuck. I'm so resilient, so focused, and that's the advice I want to share with you is be resilient. You live only one life. It's your life. Don't let others or other people dictate the way you live your life. And that's where resilience comes in. Number 18 is social media. Look, I don't care what you say about social media. There's so many people out there who are bashing social media and saying it's bad, it's toxic, blah, 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 all this other bullshit. But you know what? It's bad and toxic if you don't know how to use it. It's helped me build a strong personal brand. It's helped me educate myself and helped me build my digital marketing agency, Razor Sharp Digital. So, you know what? I'm very thankful for social media. Social media has been a great avenue to be able to connect with prospects, to be able to build new relationships, meet new people that otherwise I wouldn't be able to meet. So you know what? I'm thankful for social media. I don't give a shit how evil you might think it is, but I am thankful for it because it has provided channels, Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube, and at some point TikTok and Snapchat also. I mean, these has been all social platforms that have helped me build a strong personal brand, educate myself, build my company, Razor Sharp Digital. But again, that's my experience. I think everybody has had a different experience with social media. This has been my experience. Excuse me, I had to take a quick drink. Number 19 is travel. So in 2021, I not only did more business travel than I have before, but also a lot of travel with my family. Travel several times, several weekend getaways. Was able to have fun, good old fun, in freedom and be able to be with my family. And so I'm very thankful for travel. In fact, in 2022, I'm looking forward to do a lot more travel outside of St. Louis, Missouri, outside of Missouri. In fact, I would love to even travel abroad, if possibly. That's something that long term I'm striving for. I know that one of the things I'm looking forward to is being able to introduce my family to my culture and my heritage, my home country, which is Bulgaria, or my former country, I should say, because I am a U.S. citizen, a naturalized citizen, who was lucky enough to take the citizenship test. Let's see, 23 years ago when I was 18 years old. But travel just really enriches your life. It shows you different perspective on cultures and how other people live, in other parts of the world. I mean, other cities, other states, even, for that matter. So very thankful for travel. Number 20 is publicity. 2021 has been an amazing, amazing, amazing year uh, for publicity. So being featured in Inc. magazine, which actually didn't happen in 2021, that was actually in 2017. Being featured in Park City Television, that was an interview that I did. And I think it was in 2020, actually. You can check out more on that on ivantemelkov.com. I was also featured by a local publication called Voyage STL and sharing my story. I'm very thankful for that. And I also did an interview with Daily Ad Brief. So, I'm very grateful for this publicity, and I'm looking forward to doing more of that actually in 2022 because what I've realized is this that I have something to offer to the business community. I have something to offer to people out there, and some of these networks when they started reaching out to me, suddenly I realized, you know what? I do have something to offer. So I'm very thankful for the publicity, this year. That has been great. I'm looking forward to, doubling down on more of that in 2022. The number 21 thing that I am grateful for, ladies and gentlemen, is the St. Charles CAPS program. And CAPS stands for Center for Advanced Professional Studies. And just to give you a little bit more context around is it's a nationally recognized program amongst innovative high school programs where students fast forward into their future and are fully immersed in a professional culture, solving real world problems using industry standard tools, and are mentored by actual employers, all while receiving a high school and college credit. And CAPS is an example of how business, community, and public education can partner to produce personalized learning experiences that educate the workforce for tomorrow, especially in high skill, high demand jobs. And the reason I'm thankful for the CAPS program is because I was actually invited to speak to several groups of entrepreneurially driven high school students. And I was just mind blown, ladies and gentlemen, completely mind blown on so many different levels. First of all, these kids are intelligent, they're hungry, they are creative, and that gives me hope. That makes me happy. That warms my heart because it yields that the younger generation has huge potential. The one thing that I did notice though is a lot of these kids were looking for permission, for validation, that what they were about to do is something that they could indeed do. And I was able to inspire so many. In fact, out of a group of I think 30 or 40 in total, and there was about 6 or 7 of them that reached out to me looking for business advice and tips and tricks. In fact, two of the guys that I just met with recently for some additional business consulting and marketing advice started their own mobile detailing business that is just completely taking off. So I'm very thankful for being able to speak to the group of these youngsters, being able to inspire these youngsters because they're doing some amazing things, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing things. Definitely go check out the CAPS program, nationally recognized right here in St. Charles, Missouri, St. Charles County in the Midwest. The number 22 thing that I'm thankful for is freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from a country where I could not celebrate the holidays until I was 9 years old because of communism. Yes, I did live through communism, but there were a lot of other things that I could not do because growing up, we didn't have much. We didn't have access to things, and this is one of the things that I love in the United States of America, my country, is the fact that I can exercise my freedom. Whether I'm being judged, where I'm being sabotaged, whether I'm being degraded or whatever, you still have the option to exercise your freedom. That's the one thing that I love the most, and very thankful for that. Um, which leads me to the number 23 thing that I am grateful for, and that is holidays. And as I just mentioned, up until the age of 9 years old, I wasn't able to celebrate the holidays. So in fact, after the age of 9, as I was getting older and growing up, and as communism was overturned, especially, we developed a deeper, and I developed a deeper appreciation for the holidays, mainly because the unity of family. So much that even I remember when I was into my teens, like 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old. I remember my parents leaving the Christmas tree up until like the middle of January, in part to signify the appreciation because for 9 years we couldn't have a Christmas tree. It was it was forbidden. And so I'm very thankful for the holidays to have a special meaning in my heart, especially now being a father, a husband, also with my own family, and spending it, for the right reasons also. So Christmas Eve today, because of Jesus Christ, also, and because I was unable to celebrate those when I was younger. And the last thing that I want to talk about is number 24. It's my team. I'm very thankful, 2021 and even into 2022, having some amazing people who, came into Razor Sharp Digital, to help me really, execute upon my vision, my goal, my dreams of building the world's first human marketing agency that focuses on people over profits. And I'm really even excited into what we've got cooking into 2022. We've got a new website that's in the works. Very excited to share that with you guys. It really shows our capabilities, the work that we've done, the companies that we've worked with, the results that we've generated, the products that we've delivered also. So I'm very, very excited about that. Very thankful for my team, and I'm ecstatic about what we're going to do here going into 2022 and how this team grows and expands. So again, these were the 24 things. Again, ironically enough, today is the 24th day, Christmas Eve of December. So I thought it'd be ironic, and also something that I wanted to do to share with you how much gratitude I have in my life, that I'm thankful for every single day. And there's a lot more things that I'm thankful for, but these are the 24 things that I remember vividly on daily basis, and things that have happened throughout this year that has really changed the trajectory of my own life, my business, and also impacted others around me, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode of the RAS Project. In this episode 165, I talked about 24 things that I'm thankful for. You can pick up this episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com / Ivan Temelkov. You can watch the full version of this episode. And once again, my name is Ivan Temelkov. I was your host of the RAS Project. I'm wishing you many, many blessings, a very Merry Christmas to you and your family and your loved ones. And thank you so much for joining me on this episode. God bless you. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.